Could the U.S. open trade with Cuba before the end of the year? That's the hope of a bill co-authored by Louisiana Congressman Charles Boustany. As This Week in Louisiana Agriculture's Avery Davidson shows us, that would be great news for Louisiana rice growers.
The rice in this field could soon be headed somewhere Louisiana rice has not gone since the 1960s, Cuba. That's if Congressman Charles Boustany gets his way in Washington.
The bill I'm on with the Agriculture Chairman Peterson and Jerry Moran from Kansas, this bill will help ease up some of those restrictions and make it easier for our rice farmers to export.
The only people that are getting hurt are the Cuban people and the industries that can provide the food to Cuba.
Jimmy Hoppy is the president of the Louisiana Rice Council. He says it's time to reopen trade with Cuba.
Cuba is a market that at one time was our largest market. Its projections right now are at 600 to 800 million ton market for rice.
But it would not only be rice growers who benefit from reopening trade with Cuba.
For us in Southwest Louisiana, it's going to be a great opportunity for us to take advantage of the Port of Lake Charles and to be able to move rice out of there from Southwest Louisiana and get it into Cuba.
It helps support our rural communities. It supports the port. It brings in revenue to Louisiana. This is all, it's all part of the big economic equation for us. But also, as we expand exports, that's going to help drive this economy and get us out of the recession.
While Boustany wants to bring some good news for farmers and ranchers out of Washington, he says lawmakers could send him home with more threats to family farms.
And I think health care and this big environmental push coming out of Washington with regulations coming out of the EPA, cap and trade, what's the impact going to be on cost for our farmers? How will it hurt? How will it hurt their competitiveness? These are critical issues that we're going to put on the table today.
Boustany says he's already taking steps to protect agriculture from proposed air regulations.
Well, there's a bill I'm on right now, number one, that will restrict the EPA's ability to regulate carbon dioxide. We will cut the funding to the EPA to do that.
It's at meetings like this one in Welsh where Boustany learns farmers' concerns about what's going on inside the Beltway.
But also it's an opportunity for me to come in and say, hey, here's how I see things playing out in Washington. Here's where I have concerns. Here's where I need your help to lobby our other members of the delegation on some of these issues.
And if there's one thing these farmers and ranchers know how to do and do well, it's grow support when they need it. In Welsh, I'm Avery Davidson for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
Now, prior to the 1960s trade embargo with Cuba, the island nation was the #1 importer of Louisiana rice.